God, Shalom, Shalom, Israel, Shalom to the Torah Charles, Yash Allah giving a course. Allah glory and praise unto the Most High God, Yahweh Bashin, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shah. This brother Yash Allah, I'm going to get straight into this. So, let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 19. It says, Wisdom strengtheneth the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in the city. So, we see here evidently clear that wisdom is going to be able to strengthen the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in the city. So wisdom, as we see in the scriptures, now I'm going to get that precept as well, but the Lord said that wisdom is better than strength. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 9 and 16. Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised and his words are not heard. So the Lord said that wisdom is better than strength. Why is that? Because ultimately, with that wisdom, right, you're going to be strong. That wisdom is going to help you to be strong, right? Maybe in terms of not necessarily in just physical strength. You know, you bench 315. Okay, you're strong. But that's just on the physical. Now, if you have wisdom of the Most High with you, guess what? The Lord, he's going to make you strong. The Lord said, wisdom strengtheneth the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in the city. You can have 10 mighty men, and they're able to push down the walls of a city. They're able to, take a whole city. But the thing is, that doesn't matter. Because the Lord said that wisdom is going to be able to strengthen you. What is wisdom? Right, let's get that precept. This is the book of Job, chapter 28, verse 28. Chiefly, wisdom is this. And unto man he said, behold, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom, and to depart from understanding is slakia, and to depart from evil is understanding. So the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom. When we fear the Most High and keep his commandments. And by doing so, guess what? We're going to acquire wisdom. Wouldn't be more of a learned man, right? Let's get this in the book of, let's go to the book of, I was thinking of a precept. Oh yeah, Sirach 34, right? Let's get this in Sirach 34 in verse number 9. It says, verse 8, it says, the law shall be perfect, be found perfect without lies. And wisdom is perfection to a faithful mouth. So wisdom is going to be that perfection to a faithful mouth. Let's keep going. A man that have traveled knoweth many things. And so the Lord, guess what? When he gives you that spirit of wisdom, now you have more of the reason to travel. Because like the Lord says in Sirach 33 and verse 17, it says, what? Consider that I labor not for myself only, but for all them that seek learning. So we're not just laboring for ourselves. We're laboring for all those that seek learning. So, being apostles, remember that word apostle, you don't have to bug out, that word apostle just means, to be sent out. Right now, we're not going to call ourselves apostles, but if we're being sent out, if we're trying to live like the apostles, then we're somewhat of an apostle. The Lord gave you that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, compared you to go onto these highways and byways. We're like an apostle. But ultimately, we have to be moving around. And so the Lord said, he that traveled knoweth many things, because he's traveling a lot. He's seen many things. He's experiencing many things. The Lord said, look, the wise man, he's going to be strong, not in terms of only physical strength, but also in his mental, in his spirit. His spirit's going to be strong because he's keeping the commandments. The Lord said, he that keepeth the commandments, right? He that strengtheneth his hand, right? Let me get that, I know this in Sirach, but I forgot where that's at. Sirach chapter, hold on. Yeah, 29 and 1. It says, he that is merciful will lend unto his neighbor, and he that strengtheneth his hand keepeth the commandments. So the Lord said, he that strengtheneth his hand keepeth the commandments. You're strengthening your hands by keeping these commandments, and vice versa. By keeping these commandments, you're being more disciplined, right? And by being more disciplined, by putting your body into subjection, what are you automatically doing? You're making yourself more stronger. That's why wisdom is better than strength. right? Also, wisdom, for example, let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 33 and verse 6. What did the Lord say was going to deliver us in these times? This is Isaiah 33 and 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. So wisdom and knowledge, not strength and raw body strength, or how big you might be, in the gym, whatever. The Lord said, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. And strength of salvation. That's going to be the strength of your salvation. Not you being able to bench 315. It says the fear of the Lord is his treasure. Right? So that's what's going to be able to deliver us, keep us stable. That's why wisdom is better than strength. Because remember, wisdom, you can't buy it. You can't buy wisdom. And similar to having like a good body and good health, you can't buy that either. Right? Like it says in the book of Sirach, I believe the 30th chapter, right? Sirach chapter 30 and verse number 14, it says, better is the poor being sound and strong of constitution than a rich man that is afflicted in his body, because there's no amount of money, there's no amount of credit, whatever, you can pay to get just a whole new body. You can't do that. You can't buy muscles, right? When you see people, they got muscles and they're flexing and whatnot, that's actually something that what you're looking at is hard work and dedication. Is that you don't just wake up with all these muscles. You don't just wake up with a six-pack. You had to work to get that. So or you can't just go to the store and buy a six-pack or buy this body that somebody has. All that is through hard work and dedication. But it says, better is the poor being sound and strong in constitution than a rich man that is afflicted in his body. Health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth. Exactly, because you can't buy these things, right? Whenever something cannot be bought with money, it's intangible, then its value increases. Like, for example, knowledge and wisdom and understanding. You can't buy wisdom, right? Like how the Peter said, thou hast believed that the gift of God could be bought with money. Let's get that real quick. It's the book of Acts chapter 8 and verse number 20. It says, but Peter said unto him, thy money perish with thee, because thou hast thought that the gift of God may be purchased with money. That's ridiculous, man. To even think that you could buy this truth or buy the gift of the Most High with money. So you can't buy wisdom, knowledge, understanding with money at all. Right? Let's go to Proverbs chapter right. What I want actually I think I want to go here first. Let's go to Job chapter 28. Right? This is the book of Job chapter 28 and verse number 12. And it's really hard to find wisdom, knowledge, and understanding as well. Right? It's hard to find that sometimes because you have a lot of people saying a lot of different stuff, and you're like, okay, which is the truth? Where is the wisdom of the Lord? Yeah, you're reading the Bible, but you can't understand it. Who has the correct breakdown? It says, but where, it's like your Job 28 verse 12. But where shall wisdom be found? And where is the place of understanding? Man knoweth not the price thereof, neither is it found in the land of the living. So wisdom is not even found here, if you got yours to hear. Wisdom comes from above. Let's get that real quick in the book of Sirach, chapter 1. Right, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 1, verse, I think I went 19. God, all praises. Wisdom raineth down skill and knowledge of understanding, and exalted them to honor that hold her fast. Right, so wisdom raineth down skill and knowledge of understanding. So wisdom, it comes from above. Even in Sirach 1 and 1, it says that. Right? Sirach 1 and 1, it says, all wisdom coming from the Lord and is with him forever. So all wisdom comes from the Most High God. It comes from above. Let's get that real quick in the book of James, chapter 3. It's the book of James, chapter 3, and verse number 13. Who is a wise man and endowed with knowledge among you? Let him show out of a good conversation his works with meekness of wisdom. But if ye have bitter envying and strife in your hearts, glory not, and lie not against the truth. This wisdom descendeth not from above, but is earthly, sensual, devilish. Because you have wisdom in the earth, and not all wisdom. Now, of course, all wisdom comes from the Most High, but at the same time, you have what's called, what we call, wisdom on the right hand side, which is that righteous wisdom. Like, for example, the breakdowns, understanding you're an Israelite, just the Bible in its totality, and its proper understanding thereof. That's that wisdom on that right hand side, but you also got that wisdom on the left hand side as well. And that wisdom is earthly, essential, is devilish. It says, for where envying and strife is, there is confusion and every evil work. It says, but the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. And the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace of them that make peace. So nevertheless, that's the point. The point is that you have different types of wisdom in the earth. But nevertheless, wisdom is better than strength. And when we talk about wisdom being better than strength, it's really going into what? That wisdom on that right-hand side. And again, wisdom is better than strength because, yeah, you can be strong, but at the same time, wisdom is going to be able to deliver you without the need of having that strength, without the need of having to bench 315, right? Let's go to Job chapter 28 and verse number, let's see here, right? I'm gonna just skip down to verse 16. It says, it cannot be valued with the gold or euphor, with the precious onyx and or the sapphire. The gold and the crystal cannot equal it, and the exchange of it shall not be for jewels of fine gold. So again, you can't buy wisdom, right? You can't buy it. You have to attain that. The Most High has to give that to you, right? It's not like you could just pull up to the library and you just buy wisdom for sale. It was at first, $9.99, but now it's on sale. Now it's $7.99. You can get that discount. That's not what it's, you can't do that. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 8 and verse number 21. Nevertheless, when I perceived that I could not otherwise obtain her, except God gave her me, and that was a point of wisdom also to know whose gift she was, I prayed unto the Lord and besought him, and with my whole heart I said. So wisdom, it can only be attained through the Most High giving it to you, right? You can search it out as well, but at the same time, it's not something like you can just buy it, right? That's why wisdom is better than that strength, man. Because you can be strong, but guess what? The wisdom of the Lord is going to teach you what? The commandments, how to serve the Most High in truth and sincerity, how to get the kingdom of heaven. These things, at the end of the day, is really what matters. Hey, wisdom even in knowing how to maneuver in this world. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to the book of Luke chapter 16. In this parable, well, not Luke 16. Luke 16. All right, all praises. Right, in this parable, what did it profit? It wouldn't have profited this man. Let's read this real quick. It says, and he said unto Luke 16:1, it says, and he said also unto his disciples, there was a certain rich man which had a steward, and the same was accused unto him that he had wasted his goods. And he called him and said unto him, how is it that I hear this of thee? Give an account of thy stewardship, for thou mayest be no longer steward. So this steward, now I'm not going to read the whole parable, but the thing is, when you go into the steward, it wouldn't have profited the steward to have unlimited strength or to have the strength of 10 men. It wouldn't have profited him to do that, right? It was profitable for him to have wisdom and know how to move in this world. Because a lot of times, yeah, your strength is going to make your life easier. But imagine if you had wisdom of Solomon, the wisdom of Solomon, the wisdom of Yahushua, the wisdom of the certain wise men that walk the earth. Your life is going to be, you're going to know life. You're going to figure it out. Your life will be 10 times as easier, right? So let's go to the, I'm going to skip down to verse 7. And he said to another, then said he to another, and how much owest thou? And he said, 100 measures of wheat. And he said unto him, take thy bill and write fourscore. And the Lord commended the unjust steward, because he had done justly, what's like he had done wisely. For the children of this world are in their generation wiser than the children of light. And I say unto you, make to yourselves friends of the mammon of unrighteousness, that when ye fail, they may receive you into everlasting habitations. So the point I want to touch on is the fact that this steward, through his wisdom, was able, right, to be commended by his Lord, right? It wasn't through his strength necessarily; it was through his wisdom. So your wisdom is going to be able to make you sit amongst great men, for example, not just because of your strength. Hey, for example, Samson. Samson is a good example, because even though he had a lot of wisdom, it's like he had a lot of what do you call it? It's like he had a lot of strength, but nevertheless he didn't have a lot of wisdom. He could have had more wisdom, and had he had more wisdom, he wouldn't have sold out to the woman that sold him out. He wouldn't have told her his secrets. This is a Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8, and verse 10. For her sakes I shall have estimation among the multitude, and honor with the elders, though I be young. Right? So no matter what age you are, if you have wisdom, you're going to be honored. Right? It says, I shall be found of a quick conceit in judgment, and shall be admired in the sight of great men. You're going to be admired in the sight of great men. The Lord is going to take you from following the sheepcote like David to being amongst great men and being admired amongst them. It says, when I hold my tongue, they shall bide my leisure. And when I speak, they shall give good ear unto me. If I talk much, they shall lay their hands upon their mouth. So everybody's going to just be waiting to see what you're going to say. Imagine that. That's honor right there. And a legacy you're going to leave behind just because of your wisdom. Not because of your strength, but because of your wisdom. They don't care how much you bench. They don't care how much whatever. It's because of your wisdom. It says, moreover, by the means of her I shall obtain immortality, and leave behind me an everlasting memorial to them that come after me. All right. So with that, all praises to Yahweh Hashem, Hamashiach, Wamalak Yahweh Shah, Lord willing, this is edifying, brother Yashala. Shalom.